Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hit that like and sub button, man, for all your daily Dokkan content needs and news and return. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. We are continuing on our tier list. I know we finished the category 1 yesterday. Well, not really yesterday. I'm recording all these back to back. It is currently 1 in the morning my time. Your boy decided to stay up kind of late because I got a little and sidetracked with like the whole Dokkan podcast and all these streams that we've been doing over at 5-9 and making videos with them. I got to finish up all my stuff, so we're not going to sleep much tonight because we're getting these out for you guys this week. I don't care. We're getting all these done this week. I don't care. So this is going to be a top 10 tier list on leaders, not categories, leaders. So it's going to be looking a bit different. Yeah, it really does look a lot different from before. This is going to be in terms of how many units and stuff like that you could rock. Just kind of like the different types of teams that you could build and just stuff like that, man. It's going to be, you know, primarily what it's going to be with the decisions. So let's go ahead and move on to the tier list. So number 10 is actually physical. Super Saiyan Broly, you know, he is insanely good as a leader because he has movie bosses and full power. And we'll probably do this as well. We'll do like a quick overview of it. So here is full power. Look at, it's a pretty good category. There's a lot of units here. There's a lot of, you know, new Dokkan Fest have made it on here, like Blue Boys and stuff like that. So it's a pretty solid team. Then obviously movie bosses is pretty solid too, because again you have top 3 LR in the game right here, Mr. Turles. So there's a lot of value here as well. So definitely want to put him as number 10. So we're gonna go ahead and close that out and go to AGL Gogeta, who's also another great lead because again he is a movie hero / fusion. It might not be as many units in these two categories as the first one, but it just works really well together. Like you could rock, you know, this Gogeta, the LR 5th year Gogeta with the AGL one is such like a crazy rotation, and you could rock LR Spirit Bomb Goku with like GoBros because you could, you know, they share a couple links. And then he's making rainbow orbs, so you know 12 and 24 key supers aren't that big of an issue, so you could definitely rock that. And then of course you have access to fusion as well, which is a pretty solid category. Honestly, I think I'm gonna make a slight decision change and actually put him as number 10, and then I actually will leave you as 9 because I do think movie bosses in full power is a bit better than you know, this right here, because there wasn't really as many units as I was thinking. Like, yeah, there is a lot of synergy, but there's also a lot of synergy with Broly's teams as well, so you could definitely swap those two. I'll leave it up to you guys as well in the comments, but for me I would probably leave physical Broly as 9. So let's go ahead and move on to number 8 here, which is actually Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I like the Vegeta family team quite a bit. I didn't include it in the top 10 categories. It definitely would have been, but as a whole, Vegeta doesn't get as many cat buffs as Goku's family does. Like Vegeta's does not. It's been a while since I actually gotten a big buff. I mean, not really, because LR physical Vegeta's here, so that's definitely a bit false, but it doesn't get like buffed every month by any means. But what changes this as well, it's you have access to Super STR, which is probably my favorite model type in the game. So you have so many different things you can do. You could bring Kabe, you could bring the LR Vegito, you could bring Kefla, you could bring Kaioken Goku if you want. Like, this is a lot of options with Super STR as well, so that's why I included him. Vegeta is actually the only mono type I included on this list, just because I didn't want to oversaturate that and kind of like put different units and stuff like that. But definitely think he should be on here, so I put him as number 8. Number 7, I actually put, yes, Tech Dokkan Fest Boo as number 7. And remember, Majin Power was in my top 10 list. Artificial Life Forms was not. But I cannot take away how amazing it is being able to run both these categories together because there's so much power. You have access to 3 different 50% support units. You have Metal Riddle, you have Imperfect Cell, and you have physical Boo. So you have 3 of the like amazing support units right there, all making orbs. You know, you do have LR physical Cell here. You do have the LR No, we're not looking at that. You know, Tech Cell could Extreme Tech is just kind of so that's not like really the greatest. But you know, Metal Riddle could definitely be a help with like LR Baby, which is actually a really good rotation. And you have 17 here, so you know there's a lot of power in artificial life forms, and there's a lot of power in Majin Power. So when you combine the two, you have some very unique team builds. There's a lot of different team compositions that you could make that are very interesting versus, you know, just standalone like last resort stuff, or just kind of, it's just a lot more interesting, to say the very least, about this category. So definitely think he deserves to be up there. I do like, I don't know, you could definitely call me crazy for this one, but I like these two categories a lot, and I like them working together. Like if I summon, I'm just going to summon for Tech Boo. I'm not even going to look at Gotenks, because I would love to rock this team. It's so much fun, and when I used Trident and stuff like that in the past, I did have a very good team with that. So let's go ahead and move on to number 6. Int Future Gohan is a very good lead that people sleep on. Hybrid Saiyan has gotten so many buffs. Like obviously you have Tech Ultimate Gohan, you could rock GoBros. This guy got an EZA who's still very good. You have LRB Pan who could potentially get an EZA, guys. You know, they've been easing those free-to-play LRs, so we could see that Hybrid Saiyan does have a lot of units in here. And then also, so many people sleep on the Bond and Master category. I actually like this category a lot because you do have access to Beerus and Whis, and you have access to Beerus and Vados here. And it does add a pretty good selection of units. Like you could rock Kaioken Goku and the AGL Goku right here, which is actually what I do whenever I run Kaioken Goku, because here you have access to 50% support Kabe. So you could rock a rotation with the Kaioken Gokus, bring Kabe, bring Whis, and you could even bring AGL Pan if you really wanted to go that route. So, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do with this category, because remember, you have access to units over here as well. So like I mentioned, you have AGL Pan, you have the 50% physical Gohan that you could bring as well. And then over on this side of things, I don't think, oh, you have Kabe, so you have access to another 50% supports, which I really like that. The more 50% supports I could rock on a lead, the better I feel, because you know there's just different team compositions, there's different units that get buffed for these categories. Again, like Kaioken Goku, I believe this is one of my favorite teams with him, because you might not be able to rock his Spirit Bomb, which you know everybody sucks off, including myself, but you could still rock him as a good rotation and have Kabe working with him. I mean, you could do that with Pure Saiyans, but Pure Saiyans doesn't have a 150% lead yet. Or you could do that in Universal as well. But the difference is Gohan is a support unit for this category, so you could have a support unit floating on each rotation. You have 2 Gohans, you bring Kabe, and you could throw a GL Pan as well if you really want to go that route and just go crazy with the supports. And I think it's just a lot of fun going that route. So I would definitely leave him right here. I think he's an amazing lead. I have tons of fun with him, but obviously the units I picked before him, it's gonna make a bit sense. So right here I do have Trunks as number 5, Future Saga, and obviously Super Class. Let's be honest. I mean, Future Saga is a great category. There's a lot of units here, and it all works pretty well together. And then of course Super. What the hell else? Like you could rock every super unit on a 120% lead. I know it's not the greats, but you can, which is insane. So like if you're a free-to-play player, I would always recommend trying to get good leaders that you could rock. And you know, there's good extreme variants like the Tech Boo or the physical Broly, or you could go this route as well with Super. So this is a fantastic unit, which obviously number 4 is going to be Realm of Gods in extreme class, which is Zamasu. He is a great lead. Might not like him as a card all too much. I don't think he's the greatest defensively. However, I cannot take away that he's a fantastic leader, because remember the last video I had Realm of Gods as number 1, and then you also have access to extreme units. So it's very strong, a very, very fun cat. Of course, units that come before it, you could definitely swap it around. This is all just personal preference. So let's go ahead and keep moving. We got number 3, GoBros right here. These two as a combination is so powerful, because again, Goku Family is a very fun category. There's a lot of great units here. Like you have access to AGL Pan, You have access to the 50% Gohan right here. Like, yeah, you guys are starting to see like my thought process, right? I definitely like teams where I could rock 50% units on top of being able to just run different team builds. And right here you could just rock so many different builds. You could rock, you could literally do a rotation of Super Saiyan 4 Goku with the full power Goku. You could do a rotation of Ultimate Gohan with the STR Ultimate Gohan, and then go to Siblings Bond. You put Beerus and Whis as a rotation, and you float off the GoBros, and then you bring up another support, like, I don't know, you bring B-Pan, or you bring bottles to maximize your Beerus, or you come over here to Goku's family, and you're like, oh, you know what? I want to bring Gohan right here just to make more orbs so the LRs could do more damage, or AGL Pan, who raises attack by 25% on your super attacks. Like, there's just a lot of options here that you can do. There's so many different team builds, so definitely want GoBros. He might. I still think he's a top 10 LR, 100%. He's still very good. Obviously, he's been pushed back a lot with the meta changing, but he's still a fantastic unit and definitely a number 3 spot for me. The first two should be a bit obvious, but let's go ahead and jump into that. Number 2, Battle of Wits and Majin Buu Saga. And when you combine the two, there's tons of power here. Basically, Battle of Wits, you're able to rock a rotation with LR Tech Vegito Blue and then the physical Vegito Blue, so that is definitely a very extremely prevalent category. 100%, it's insane. And then of course Majin Buu Saga, you have a million different options. You could do a million different things, and it's just all around a great time. So I would 100% say both are completely worth it. Both are 100% worth your time, and like, it's just a great lead. Like, you could do so much, and he does have a good link set. He has Prepare for Battle and Shocking Speed, so you're able to use them a lot. So I would definitely say that he's fun. He's a lot of fun to use, and he's a great leader as well. So let's go ahead and move on to number 1, which this one should be pretty obvious. I put STR Cooler as number 1 because Transformation Boost and Terrifying Conquerors together is insane. Because Transformation Boost, obviously, you have tons of units, tons of great power here. It's not just terms of power, right? I'm looking at utility, different team builds, stuff like that. And Terrifying Conquerors opens that up even further. You get, right here, you got the boy Metal Riddle. You get Turles. I don't believe there's any other 50% supports, but you do get access to Metal Cooler. You have LR Turles, who's possibly the best LR in the game. We don't know. I got to discuss that. But it's just a very good prevalent category. There's a lot of love here with the SDR Cooler leader skill. If you guys want to put someone above him, that's completely fine. But and look, you have access to Imperfect Cell over here, so that's a 50% support. And guess what? You have access to 3 50% support units here over with Cooler's leader skill, which is insanely good. It's extremely valuable. You cannot disvalue units that give you the option of running these amazing 50% supports, because whenever a new unit comes out for that category, you want to have those supports just around, just in case, like, they really bring out the best in units. So I would 100% Transformation Boost in terms of all the power, in terms of all of it, takes the award of best leader in the game. So let's go ahead and do a recap. So we have SDR Cooler, we have LR Goku and Vegeta, we have LR GoBros, Zamasu, El Trunkso, Future Gohan. I got, Tech Boo here. We have LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. You could definitely swap this out, but remember, Super STR is extremely powerful, and obviously you have a lot of good options with Vegeta's family. And then, Physical Broly and AGL Gogeta. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there like a nice winter blanket. So guys, thank you so much for the support. I think for the next one, I don't even know what I was going to do for the next one. I had an idea. Another tier list. I don't know. Oh, top 10 LR free-to-play units. We're just going to do that. Top 10 free-to-play units will be the next one. So be on the lookout for that. So if you guys enjoyed, like and sub. Thank you guys so much for the support. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.